Alright, y'all boys, ready to Ichigo versus Yusuke, Bleach versus Yu Yu Hakusho Death Battle. I'm gonna make 2 videos on this one, you feel me? Just the fight, and then the reaction. So, the reaction will drop first, then just the fight. No, they're gonna drop at the same time. But hey, my nigga Yusuke, you know, he gonna bang out with his heart. I know that. That's all I know. I'm not expecting much from him, but if he win, he win. Let's get to it.
Ichigo Kurosaki versus Yusuke Urameshi.
The substitute Shinigami of Bleach versus the spirit detective of Yu Yu Hakusho. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
There would be some good homeboys there, like good friends.
Tell me, Boomstick,
Ichigo,
what happens when we die?
Endless nothingness? Jeez, man, I don't know. We just started.
Our souls are ferried by Shinigami, gods of death, in an eternal cycle of death and rebirth.
That was my second guess.
And when a soul goes astray, warped by evil and regret, it's a Shinigami's job to purify such violent hollows and send them off to the realm of the dead, the Soul Society.
Works great, till it doesn't. Enter Ichigo Kurosaki, whose tragic enemy backstory came way too early when his mom...
Ichigo Kurosaki, age 29, 5'11", 145. That nigga 145, get your weight up. Occupation, substitute on Shinigami, translator, candidate replaced the Soul King, trained by Uraha, Yoriichi, Advisor, Ishin, Squad Zero, likes chocolate, Shakespeare, or Hime. Japanese name means strawberry.
Was killed by a hollow. Reason number 1 why you should never want your kid to be the anime protagonist.
Left with his grief, young Ichigo was crushed under the weight of survivor's guilt.
So he lashed out the only way he knew how, beating people up.
But this wound began to heal when he found his calling, upon meeting a Shinigami named Rukia. To stop a powerful hollow, she gave Ichigo her powers, rousing unseen potential.
He stole that shit.
Boom! Just like that, Ichigo's a Shinigami.
Substitute Shinigami. To carry out his duties, Ichigo sheds his body for an invisible one made of spiritual matter called Reishi. He can wield vast amounts of spiritual energy called Ryoku and exert it offensively in the form of spiritual pressure or Reiatsu.
Okay, that's a lot of big words, but all it really means is he's a super-powered ghost with an epic sword. His spirit aura is so strong, he can stun lock foes, crushing them under his own power, even fatally.
He controls spirit map.
And mind you, he did that as a young nigga, like just he's fresh into the game. Captain level. I feel like if he was really lieutenant level as soon as he got his powers, keep it being. If we being fair, he beat up Renji, that nigga lieutenant. Men's Ryatsu, spiritual pressure, gets potential Shinigami skills, Danjutsu, Shimpo, Hakoto, Reishi manipulation, flight, Blue Vein, Zangetsu, fusion of Shinigami and hollow powers, Quincy Zangetsu, manipulation of Quincy powers. Alright.
In and around him, hardening his skin for defense and leaping off of invisible footholds in the air. Paired with speed-boosting skills like Shunpo, he can virtually fly.
Say goodbye to the kid who beat up bullies for their lunch money, and hello to the town's new superhero, with fellow Ghostbusters Orihime, Chad, and Uryu, plus Rukia. It was the Shinigami's job to tear hollows a new hole.
While balancing responsibilities at school, of course. GPA comes first, and maybe a round or 2 of tech.
But it wouldn't be possible without his Shinigami blade, a Zanpakuto. It's basically a super-powered spirit that's physically a sword. Ghost Sword!
Though strangely, Ichigo's sword is composed of 2 distinct spirits, both named Zangetsu, which isn't confusing at all.
Just call him Old Man Zangetsu and Hollow Zangetsu. Anyway, the double Ghost Sword gives Ichigo lots of new moves, including his trademark attack, the Sword Beam to end all sword beams, Getsuga Tensho!
Getsuga Tensho is incredibly powerful, and so effective that Ichigo developed multiple variants. He can fire it as a wave, detonate it mid-attack to act as a barrier, and combine 2 at once into the even stronger Getsuga Jujisho.
To cut even the biggest hollows down to size, Ichigo was ridiculously strong, even from frame 1.
He can make giant shockwaves and parry spiritual light beams from a Menos Grande. And these aren't fake, slower-than-light lasers. Guidebooks confirm they're real light.
Oh, no. Already bring up light speed deflection, and it's like episode 5. My nigga Yusuke cooked, man. Fuck.
Early on, Uryu
It's like episode 5,
he
chat.
left his own shadow
I'm not
behind.
gonna lie to
But
you.
as Ichigo became more involved with the Soul Society, he quickly found that he wasn't good enough.
This Byakuya guy's so fast, Ichigo can't even see him. Time for a good old-fashioned training arc. Hit the music!
Until now, Zangetsu had operated only in its base state, Shikai. So Ichigo learned to release its inner power, a
Bankai.
10 times boost that takes most Shinigami a decade to master.
Bankai! In Bankai, his speed skyrocketed, letting him turn the tables on douchebag Byakuya. Even in Shikai, he blocked an attack that could destroy the whole friggin' Soul
did that?
Society.
Because Ichigo's greatest gift
True Shikai manifests two Sunpack souls, Getsuga Jusho, half hollow, fusion of Shinigami, hollow, Quincy powers, high speed regeneration. Zero, I don't know that word. True Bankai 10 sets on Getsu 5 to 10 times stronger. Oh, because his first quote unquote Bankai, they said that wasn't really a Bankai. And I did foreshadow it. That boy was like, that's not a Bankai. What is that? Cool, boy. You really a demon when it comes to this foreshadow shit. I gotta give it to you. Gotta give it to that nigga. Hollow Mask, full bringer Shikai, plus Bankai, skull clad. Final gets with Tensho, Yugetsu. He gets a lot of forms, I ain't gonna lie.
is his potential to improve.
His
Despite
first
only
Bankai
being
is
a
like
teenager,
with
he
the
mastered
Espada
swordsmanship
use.
well enough to thrash experts
Like,
who have
I
been
forgot what
training
it's
for
called.
centuries. He can quickly adapt to new weapons and styles mid-fight, surpassing his limits time and time again.
Like when he took on Catboy Grimjow.
Yeah.
He was getting clamped, but
Yeah,
his
so look, I think somebody said like his first Bankai is like akin to the Reese forms like Grimjow be using, like that one. It's not
soon
real.
as he heard Orihime cheering him
Bankai.
on, that was all he needed to smash that kitty.
You mean Grimjow, right?
Yeah, but even with that main character energy, Ichigo couldn't match Big Bad Aizen. With just a finger,
Thought the
Aizen
nigga
stopped
whole music.
Ichigo's Bankai and his theme song. Rude.
Ichigo needed to tap into his unexplained hollow power. Except Hollow Zangetsu wasn't going to make it easy.
Old man Zang's pretty chill, but this guy's a menace.
Still, Ichigo needed his help and conjured a hollow mask to expand his power. But this meant the hollow within only grew stronger.
Masked up, he can fire lasers, bypass super senses, and heal lost limbs. But piss him off enough, and he'll go full hollow. And you really don't want that.
Use that one time though.
Qualification exceeds even Bankai, and was enough to crush Ukiura in a battle that shook all of Hueco Mundo, the world of hollows.
Full hollow Ichigo
Wow.
could even tear through all 3 layers of hell.
But with help from his secret Shinigami father, Ichigo continued to train for months in the Dangai, a corridor between dimensions, until he was finally ready to challenge Aizen.
Challenge is an understatement. He manhandled Aizen, shattered
that
mountains
boy in
with
the
sheer
worst way.
aura, and flexed so hard he smashed out of the black coffin, which crushes space like a mini black hole.
And yet, it still wasn't enough. So by becoming Getsuga itself, Ichigo unleashed his ultimate attack, Mugetsu, defeating Aizen at the cost of all his power.
He might have saved everyone, but now it was back to Normieville.
Ichigo never truly realized until then just how much being a Shinigami meant to him. The power to protect others, his drive, his pride in himself was gone. He would give anything to get it back.
And he did, thanks to a surprise
What
assist
even
from
more on
Rukia.
top of that?
Boom! Shinigami again!
Just in time for a 1,000-year blood war with a final endgame boss, Yuhabak.
Who planned to end everything. And while other Shinigami tried their best, only Ichigo was special enough to pull it off.
His father was a Shinigami. His mother was a member of the ancient Quincy's and possessed by a hollow. Hence, his 2 Sanbakuto spirits, one Quincy, the other hollow and Shinigami, made Ichigo a perfect union to break Yuhabak's plan. Finally, Ichigo understood himself, fully unifying with both Zanpakuto spirits within. With that came a new Shikai and 2 new Zanpakuto.
True Shikai! If you thought Ichigo was
Sliced through the chains of hell, blocked the world-destroying Sokyoku, casually reacted to Seros and Balas, parry Byakuya's hundreds of millions of cuts, crushed Ukiura's Lazan DL, Rapongo, shattered Aizen's Hado 90, matched Soul King Yua, realm ending power, defeated Renji, Kenpachi, Byakuya, Grimjaw, Ukiura, Aizen, Genjo, Yua. Hey, Yusuke got a battle on him. That's all I gotta
before.
say.
Oh boy, he's the strongest
These
Shinigami
feats
alive.
are sounding
Or
crazy.
Dead. Undead? Yeah.
Stronger than Kenpachi, who could split the Dangai in half. stronger than Senjumaru, who shook heaven and earth across the realms, and strong enough to match Yhwach, even after he absorbed the Soul King.
Juiced up with Soul King power, Yhwach could nuke all 3 realms, the human world, Soul Society, and Hueco Mundo, plus the Dangai and Garganta in between, which have a bunch of pocket dimensions sprinkled in. Hell, just the Soul King's corpse sent a shockwave across all the realms.
And it's not a matter of disrupting the flow of souls. Yhwach was going to end everything through sheer power alone.
But Ichigo still wasn't done powering up,
entering a new half-hollow form and merging his Getsuga Tencho with a mighty hollow attack, the Gran Ray Sero,
making a giant crescent slash that rips through space itself.
All that power culminating in his true Bankai, a power so great, even Yhwach was scared of it.
Joke's on you!
We never got to see
Ichigo didn't even need it. You're done!
Ichigo was finally content, and 10 years later, he remains a Shinigami, having found the courage to stand on the edge of life and death, conquer his fears, and walk onward.
Ichigo the GOAT, man. What can I say? He one of them ones.
Most teenagers have no idea what they want to do with their life.
Thug.
However, that was hardly a problem for juvenile delinquent Yusuke Urameshi, because he only ever wanted to do one thing.
Throw hands! It don't matter who the
Yusuke Urameshi, 18 years old, 5'8", trained by Genkai, operation spirit detective, ramen salesman, descendant of Demon King Rising, likes fighting, virtual fighter, Kiko, fights anyone but beat thy women, old folk, or babies. He fought a baby in the show? I don't remember the episode. The original shonen trash talker. He really be talking this shit. I'm not gonna lie to you. What is this nigga fought a baby?
Sir, be they women, old folk, or babies, Yusuke lived to fight.
I know he fought a girl multiple times, multiple occasions.
Who cares about stupid things
rights.
like friends and
He's a
family?
feminist.
Which is why it was so surprising when one day he threw himself in front of a speeding car to save a child, bringing that reckless life to a screeching halt.
Truck-kun claims another victim.
But this is chapter 1 of a battle shonen, so death is hardly the end.
Surprisingly, though, it wasn't a spooky skeleton in a hood who arrived to claim Yusuke's soul. It was a blue-haired anime girl on a broomstick.
This was Botan, whose job was to ferry Yusuke's newly deceased spirit off to the afterlife.
Unfortunately, or I guess fortunately for him, he was such an asshole that the underworld didn't see his selfless death coming and didn't have any space prepared for him. Imagine being such a menace to society that the second you do something nice, hell itself gets caught with its pants down.
So the underworld surrogate king, Koenma, offered Yusuke an alternative. He could return to life as an agent of the afterlife, a spirit detective, solving supernatural crimes and fighting off demonic threats to humanity.
Naturally, Yusuke did what anyone would do in that situation and told Satan Jr. to stuff it. I mean, he was never really good for anything and no one was gonna miss him. So what's the point of coming back to life? It's not like his mom would be sad, or his childhood sweetheart Keiko would be heartbroken, or even his rival Kuwabara would shed manly tears.
Man.
Oh, man.
At the sight of loved ones who cared far more than he ever expected, Yusuke had a change of heart and accepted Koenma's offer, returning to life with a new purpose and a new job.
And newfound ass-kicking ability. In his quest to beat the dog shit out of demonkind, Yusuke learned to harness Reiki, or spirit energy. He's ridiculously strong, fast, and durable, heals from wounds quickly, and can see spirits invisible to mortal men.
Even early on, Yusuke
immense Reikai, spirit shotgun, spirit wave, spirit punch, gold energy, accelerate healing, barriers, energy absorption, propel flight, spiritual awareness, Bazaku form, immense yokai, demon gun, previously channeled, raising spirit. You feel?
Perry Suzaku's lightning.
You don't got too much, but it's enough.
Lightning called down from the sky, and with the help of
you got enough, but it's enough.
Genkai, he mastered a signature move that could blast anyone to smithereens.
My favorite shonen move ever, the Spirit Gun. At first, Yusuke had a limited number of shots, but eventually he turned it into his personal WMD. Stronger than any weapon on Earth, he could go finger blasting around as much as he wants.
The Spirit Gun is more versatile than it appears. Yusuke can bounce it off surfaces for sneak attacks, propel himself around like a rocket in flight, and produce massive explosions with each shot.
He can twist it up for a Spirit Shotgun, a mighty AoE blast, or a Spirit Punch, where he keeps the energy stored in his fists and clobbers the hell out of you. And the Spirit Wave, a Kamehameha from before we uncultured Americans knew what a Kamehameha was.
Yusuke may be a punk, but he's deceptively skilled and cunning in battle.
He's not afraid to fight dirty, throw in his shoes.
He really nigga be
using sleight of
banging.
hand to place cigarettes on his foe to track them in the dark.
Personally, I'd call that smart, and his hand-to-hand is A+. He's matched experts like Cabano, who's said to have mastered all forms of martial combat.
But his best secret is how quickly he improves. All it takes is a round of training or someone threatening his friends, and Yusuke's power will spike to match stronger enemies, even if it means literally burning through his own life force for a power-up.
All known demons and demon fighters are individually ranked on a scale of power from E to S.
E and D class demons are nothing special. We're talking local threats at best.
Okay.
C and B are getting a bit dicey in a destroy your city kind of way. A and S? Well, hold on to your ass. We're talking end of the world.
As Yusuke forged bonds with new allies, like demons Hiei and Kurama, as well as his old pal Kuwabara, he found himself facing opponents he couldn't beat, such as the monstrous Toguro, who could vaporize weaker demons and crush their souls with sheer aura.
But Yusuke needed to survive and protect his loved ones, so he had no choice but to rank up, even if it meant absorbing the power of a small star. Thanks, Genkai!
Our sun has an average luminosity of 380 septillion watts, or joules per second. Small stars like red dwarfs output about 1/10,000th of that. So this spirit orb's energy per second would equal about 9 million megatons of TNT.
Enough to send Toguro to the grave.
Even after pushing past his own limits, Yusuke would still need more power to face S-class threats like Sensui, a past spirit detective gone bad, and a great measuring stick for what top-tier demons are capable of.
Sensui was so yoked, he couldn't even use all his power in the human world without threatening to bring down the whole thing.
Okay.
He compared destroying the whole goddamn planet to kicking an anthill.
According to Genkai, Yusuke could destroy the planet too, if he really wanted. And even A-class...
How much does this upscale Yusuke? Guys, I understand. I might sound biased, but come on, bro. This nigga Ichigo is going against shit just like Yusuke needs this.
Threats like King Enma have shaken both the demon and human worlds.
That anima guy is strong as balls. In the past, he fought the Netherworld King Yakumo, who could eradicate the entire human world and remake the Netherworld.
But Yusuke's power surpassed both of them, to the point where he overloaded Yakumo with his own energy. And do keep in mind, Yusuke was still only A-class at the time, a far cry from S-classes like Sensui, whose sacred energy was 10 times his superior.
But not for long, sucker, because turns out Yusuke was a demon himself.
Literally. Yusuke is the descendant of an ancient and incredibly powerful being, one of the strongest in existence, Raizen, the Demon King.
With his Bazoku mark, Yusuke can channel Raizen's spirit for a huge power boost and a massive thirst for murder boost. This was his first taste of a dangerous new type of spirit energy, Yoki.
A form of energy used by demons. Like normal Reiki, it can be amplified by intense emotions. Unlike normal Reiki, its use creates a pleasurable feeling, feeding into the user's rage and bloodlust, the feral animal within.
So Yusuke upgraded his spirit gun to a demon gun. It's the same thing, but red. Oh, and it's strong enough to blast Sensui past the horizon, putting Yusuke's power firmly in S-class.
And making him a prime candidate to rule the demon world. But as he was thrust into a tournament vying for that throne, Yusuke began to wonder if all this power was what he really wanted.
Self-reflection? From "I'll kick your ass, Yusuke Urameshi"? Nah, we can worry about that later.
Great character,
There's a
man.
tournament to win. Which one of you, girl, baby, or grandparents is first?
Even then, as Yusuke took on the Demon King Yomi in an epic final battle, he was still growing. He had become far stronger than before, even achieving a unique version of the Mozoku form separate from Raizen's influence.
And a brand spanking new form of power. Kinda like Sensui's secret energy, but even better. It's so unprecedented, it doesn't even have a name, but it's golden glowy.
He's like
enough to clash with Yomi, creating an explosion that split the heavens above and decimated the Okunin tree below, pushing the Demon King.
Winner of the Dark Tournament, Perry's Suka's lightning arrows contained the spirit orb's energy, withstood Togoro's demonic aura, and annihilated a 10-kilometer plateau in 0.45 seconds. Overloaded Yokomi's realm-ending power sphere. Decimated it and a tree with Demon King Yomi. Defeated Hiei. These feats are nothing. Oh my gosh. No, my niggas, he's gonna get cooked. Chat, my niggas, no.
Himself to his absolute limits.
No.
But then, Yusuke lost. It's not all bad, though. Even if being king would have been cool, Yusuke realized he wanted something more. He'd grown up and chose to walk a new path.
It was always Yusuke's connections with others that motivated him above all else. And it was in those connections that he found his happy ending.
But I wouldn't piss him off if you can avoid it. Get him in the right mood or threaten the human world, and the spirit detective will beat your stupid ass.
Okay.
Long has its return been foretold, but now, finally, it is reborn.
The original death.
Let's get skipping this shit real quick, chat. Okay.
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
All right, you know, I want in my heart, I want Yusuke to win. You feel me? I really do. I like more than Ichigo, but I like Ichigo too. But we all know Ichigo's gonna kill this nigga. He's gonna slice this nigga in half. But hey, if he somehow pull out a dub, I love to see it. I love to see it. Oh, come on, he could have fight Naruto. No, why couldn't he fight Naruto? Demon Fox, Demon Nick, like, come on, bro. But let's get to it.
That's a demon. That's a hollow. No doubt about it.
So that's how the fight started. Okay.
Spirit guide. Getsuga Tensho.
They put a pause on that nigga. Ooh. Brandon. These niggas are thugs.
Hollow. Chump change.
Knock him.
Idiot. What a baby! Little demon energy got you scared. Nah.
Okay. This can like Sunjuru first. Beru.
Getsuga. Yujisho.
Damn, nigga.
Do it once? Damn. Why didn't I think of that? Give in to me, Yusuke.
What? It just started. Why is he going into the demon form already, nigga? We have 5 minutes. We have 6 minutes left of the video. Oh my. This nigga didn't even put the hollow mask on yet.
Let's devour him together. Hell no! This is my fight, jackass!
Oh!
You just hold me back!
Okay. Never mind. Stupid markers on.
Yeesh, rude awakening. This one's a piece of work. Need a hand, partner? Let's do it, like old times.
On! Cut! Tensa! Kongetsu! Is that the best you can do? I can go even faster if you'd like. Hell yeah! Bring it on! I'll kill you even if it kills me! I'm putting it all on the line! You better do the same! Screw that!
He's giving it. He's putting hard into it. I told you.
Freaking break.
I'm gonna cut that again in half.
See you on the other side.
Oh shit! That nigga was banging out. No, he had heart, bro. That nigga had heart. What can I say? The nigga Yusuke had heart. I'll give it to the nigga. He ain't get obliterated too, so I'll give him that. He not really dead for real, for real.
He ain't get obliterated. Life offers frequent flyer miles.
There's a lot to cover here, so let's break this down into 4 chapters, starting with their abilities.
Yusuke could see Ichigo no problem, and resist auras like Taguro's that are similar to Reiatsu, so Ichigo couldn't cheese a win right away.
Otherwise, Yusuke was outmatched. Sure,
He was,
the Spirit Gun could potentially match the Getsuga Tensho, and he had stat-boosting forms like the Mizoku. Ichigo, however, had more varied powers, a better healing factor, greater stamina given his months of Dangai training,
and all those swords. He just had way more abilities to play with.
Likewise, speed was a fairly easy call. Yusuke could react to lightning early on and obviously got much faster over time. Looking at this blast from his clash with Yomi, it erupted upwards at 57% the speed of light.
But Ichigo was faster than light from the start, and he's gotten faster too. He couldn't even see Byakuya at first, but blitzed him in the rematch. Plus, he's got tons of training and power-ups since then.
The Soul King Shockwave, for example, expanded across the realms at thousands of times light speed, and Ichigo reacted to attacks from Soul King Yuhabak that utilized the same power. So, Ichigo takes speed. But Yusuke's fought plenty of foes faster and more varied than him, so it's extremely important to examine their tactics and ability to adapt mid-fight.
This is kind of both their thing.
You're giving my nigga Yusuke a pity category? Get out of my face. Tactics? Are we dead ass right now? Why is this a category? Y'all know what y'all doing.
Ichigo is styling guys with centuries of training and has over a decade of experience as a Shinigami. He's pretty good at figuring out new weapons and styles.
Meanwhile, Yusuke was flexible and quick to adapt, mixing cleverness with exceptional hand-to-hand. He's good enough to match Kabano, who mastered every martial art. Ichigo's decent at hand-to-hand, but it's not his go-to in the same way.
So, both had their strong suits, with advantages on each side. It's fair to call this one a draw.
Leaving only the biggest winning factor, which could have superseded all other advantages: power.
Between Sensui, Genkai, and Enma, Yusuke could definitely destroy the planet. Examining his sky-splitting clash with Yomi and measuring its scale, that's about 4 quadrillion megatons of TNT, which is crazy.
Similarly, mid-series Ichigo could shake Huecomundo, tear through hell, and block attacks that could destroy the Soul Society. But at his peak, he beat Yuhabak, who could destroy several realms, which is far more impressive than just one.
To be fair, Yusuke also beat Yakumo, who could threaten 2 realms at the same time, pretty close to Yuhabak's threatening 3.
And Yusuke far surpassed Yakumo afterward. The gap between him and Sensui alone was 10 times. So there could be an argument for Yusuke's power surpassing Ichigo if 3 realms was truly Ichigo's limit.
Fortunately for Ichigo, it's not. Yuhabak was also going to destroy the Garganta, which has at least 29 pocket dimensions inside it,
each containing at least a planet and star, much larger than Yusuke's planet-sized worlds. Plus, Ichigo matched Yuhabak in True Shikai, without his additional boost from Half Hollow and True Bankai.
As always with Death Battle, there's arguments either way, but the way we see it, even being generous with Yusuke's power and conservative with Ichigo's, the gap was just too big, giving Ichigo the final edge. Sorry if things got messy, but that's just how
Don't do that. Messy, you're about to piss me off. Y'all couldn't put this thing against Naruto? Y'all couldn't put Yusuke against Naruto. That would have been a way more fair fight. More enjoyable to watch, actually. I knew my nigga was gonna die. I knew my nigga was gonna get cut in half. What are we talking about? Why would you? Y'all could have put Ichigo against a nigga like who's a tough nigga around this nigga power level. Asta could. I can't put that nigga against Goku. Who's a shonen protagonist around that level? I don't know, but y'all probably know in the comments. But I feel like Ichigo versus Naruto would have been a way better fight. The Demon Fox versus the Spirits. Come on. If I always enjoyed your reaction, bro. If y'all had Ichigo winning, subscribe. If you had Yusuke losing, subscribe. Either way, I can subscribe her. Appreciate that.